Ladies and gentlemen, today we're all gathered here to celebrate the landmark initiative of the Lahore High Court regarding establishment of commercial courts in 5 districts of Punjab and the successful completion of the training workshop for commercial and overseas court judges organized by the Punjab Judicial Academy in collaboration with Lahore High Court, Planning and Development Board Punjab and the World Bank Group. Under the guidance of Honorable Chief Justice of Pakistan, Mr. Justice Gulzar Ahmed, and in line with the vision of the Honorable Chief Justice, Lahore High Court, Mr. Justice Muhammad Qasim Khan, to operationalize commercial courts for speedy dispensation of cases and overall improvement of the business environment of the province. The training workshop was organized to equip the judges with relevant laws and precedents relating to commercial and overseas courts.
And my sister and brother judges, Lahore High Court, and also the distinguished government officers. As after the pursuant to the National Judicial Policy Making Committee meeting on 29th of February 2020, where the Honorable Chief Justice directed that to provide speedy justice, all administrative tribunals and special courts to be filled for clearing all backlogs of cases. That was held by the apex body headed by the Chief Justice and all the Chief Justices of all other provinces. World Bank approached the High Court to improve the ranking of our enforcement of contracts. All donors, including the World Bank, the OECD, Asian Development Bank, Islamic Development Bank, and recently, yesterday, I read the report of the US State Department called Investment Climate Statement 2020, where the entire US officers collected the data of countries and they made a statement that Pakistan is also improving. We had a task to how can we improve our enforcement of contracts. Next, please. That was the one to show that this was all based on a questionnaire by the World Bank, filled up by the law firms and the accounting firms, which made our ranking to 156. As you know, a barometer for an economy all over the world is the chartered accountant and the law firms, but unfortunately, the questionnaire which was filled up, which made our ranking to 156, never looked into the Pakistani law carefully. Had they looked into the law, we could have easily put ourselves to below 100 for enforcing of contracts. And that's why, in order to clarify how on what we do, is the first is our Constitution of Pakistan itself has an opening in item number 3, Federalist Part 1, Schedule Implementing of Treaties and Agreement. The issue of enforcement of contract. If you look at the Constitution of Pakistan, it gives an opening of implementing the treaties and agreement that is under Article 70 of the Constitution, where any federal or provincial government can make law, and Article 89, the ordinance is made. And then also we have Article 4, inalienable right to enjoy the protection of law, which was not looked carefully, Article 37 for the expeditious justice, and Article 175 as courts. And then we had the unique articles in the Constitution that any judgment of the Supreme Court under Article 189 is binding on the courts below. And there are plethora of judgments of the Superior Courts of Pakistan enforcing the contracts and the commercial contracts for the parties. Secondly, we have the Economic Reform Act of 1992. We also have the Foreign Private Investment Promotion 76 and various laws which we are now looking at the working group in order to improve that. That was under the rule of law. We had these constitutional provisions and laws. Now the second part is access to justice in Pakistan. Next, please. Every person has right to access to justice. We have the Superior Courts of Pakistan, and I must unfortunately say that Chief Justice and future Chief Justice all have their commercial practice before their elevation. And then because we have the Superior Courts of Pakistan dealing with commercial matters, the High Court under various specialized laws, appellant tribunals, commissions, custom tribunals, competition appellant tribunals, specialized courts, and also regulatory authorities to protect the investor or the domestic investment under the access to justice. And most of the work of the tribunals, even the commission or the SCCP, are also reported in the CLD, which is available to every investor or a person to invest in Pakistan. Next, please. The concept is dispensation of justice. That's the third key element to look at the economy of a country when they invest and before they invest. FDI, foreign direct investment, which is maybe foreign or a domestic investment, is always looked into the enforcement of contract. And here we have the Supreme Court Rule 1980 amended on 11th of November 2017, and also the High Court rules. And this is something very unique that 40 years ago, Lahore High Court has rules under volume 5 of a commercial court and commercial judges. And the unique thing in that rule is that any judge, whoever is hearing a commercial cause case, either on the request of the party or suo motu, if satisfied that the said case is commercial cause as defined in rule, and they can mark that case as a commercial case which gets a priority. And that is what we all do with our judges who are commercial judges to do day-to-day hearing of those cases. And then CPC has certain orders to implement the decrees obtained under the contract or the commercial enforcement of contracts. Next, please. The fourth element of the rule of law is the dispensation of justice. We have the specialized commercial and banking laws, and most of laws which are recently drafted under the provisions of the commercial law are time-bound laws. Like Financial Institution Ordinance, the Companies Act, and various laws, they all have a time-bound provision of deciding a case, and that has to be done. But the most prominent law is the Companies Act, and the preamble is very important, which says our alternate mechanism for expeditious resolution of corporate dispute. And our High Court has also made amendments to the CPC, which will be notified also today, but the Chief Justice will explain that. Next, please. Administration of justice. My last, under the rule of law, Supreme Court of Pakistan, under overseeing the activities, Law and Justice Commission, headed by the Honorable Chief Justice of Pakistan, as I mentioned, under the National Judicial Policy Making Committee, Ordinance 2002, 4A, to improve performance of administration of justice. And on the 19th of March, they met and decided they will work, and that is something they should know. The donors, when putting us in 156, then none of our courts were closed because of COVID. All worked throughout the COVID situation. This is the issue, that how Pakistani courts are dealing with the matters, commercial or non-commercial. And then, on 29th of February, and the NGMC, headed by the Honorable Chief Justice Gulzar Ahmed, they again provided a speedy justice directed to administrative tribunals and special courts to be filled for clearing all backlog of cases. Hence, we came out of journey with the World Bank to do a start a trial and to look better than, when you read the commercial courts in the world, the number one is the London commercial courts, established 100 years ago. Number two is the Singapore commercial courts. Number three, Auckland, New Zealand commercial courts. Number four is coming up, which is the world talking about, is Almaty in Kazakhstan. And inshallah, with the vision of our Chief Justice of Pakistan here, with the support of our Chief Justice of Lahore High Court and my brother and sister judges, if we continue with the training which we do to our judges, and if we do well, we can be labeled and talked about another good court from a developing country. Next, please. NJP, headed by the Chief Justice of Pakistan, a main objective is to reduce and eliminate backlog of cases at all judicial forums and fixing time frame for disposal of cases. They had the policy also financial matters crucial for economic development to receive preference. That's the highest body, the judicial body in Pakistan, directing the entire subordinate courts to do what is and their issue is the economic development and receive the preference, and also efficient utilization of existing resources, and priority should be given to disposal of trade, commercial and investment cases. This thing has been there since 2002, and still I don't know how we came to 156, because of the questionnaire filled up by the law firms in Pakistan, overlooked the provisions and the constitution, overlooked the judgments of the Pakistan, which will be again looked into. Our performance and our number will come below 156 to, I hope, 100. And next, please. High Court, commercial cases, High Court rules and orders. High Court also regulates and supervises courts under Article 203, and also of ease of doing business, which we are not doing. Commercial courts established in Punjab for efficiency resolving of the commercial disputes. I interacted with the commercial judges. We have also a portal for them, and also this is now of time for Pakistan to come out and enforce the contracts, because any foreigner, whoever wants to invest in Pakistan, will look into the enforcement of a contract. As last year, again Lahore High Court is the first court to establish this in Pakistan. Again last year, we had an overseas cell and notified judges to deal with, and we went to UK, Dubai and USA, and we also talked about our investment of overseas is again increased from 20 billion to 22 billion. That is also the confidence of overseas in Pakistanis in the judiciary of Pakistan. Next, please. Last. Enforcement of contracts. These are the judgments. Justice Jawed Ahsan is sitting here. He's written judgment on 2017 SCMR 1696, and there are various judgments by the Chief Justice of Pakistan also on the commercial matters arising out of the Sindh High Court and also the Supreme Courts, but all started back in 1960. Justice Kako's judgment is commercial contracts written part to prevail against the printed part. Our courts have written exceptionally good judgments on contract, and most of the guest speakers who are sitting, and I'm thankful to everyone, when I reached out to all of them, that I need you for Pakistan, I need you for my country to train without any charge, without charging anything. Everybody stood with me. And I want to say, all of what we are doing here to improve the image of Pakistan, none has taken anything except a dinner or a lunch by the World Bank. Next, please. I want to acknowledge the World Bank and the team of PIU, the Chief Secretary, my Chief Justice by Lahore High Court of Chief Justice of Pakistan, to accept this thing, and also the entire team working for us for almost a week, where all the lectures given have been now, we people are looking at it to improve. And I, so, as I say to the Honorable Chief Justice, when we had the first day, I said, it's the 7th day, and I hope 7th is a lucky day. And I must confess today, 7 was proven to be lucky, because it was a wonderful course, but everyone stood with us. And today when I thought, how can I say a number today? I said, a day is lucky because it's Friday. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Sir. I would like to invite Mr. Justice Shahad Waheed, the Honorable Judge, for his valuable views for the guidance regarding commercial and overseas courts. Dear Sir.
I'm very grateful for the timely opportunity granted to me to share my thoughts and expectations pertaining to the splendid legal development in the form of commercial courts, and to canvass some suggestions and proposals as to the way in which the courts can best meet the needs of the dispensation of justice and strengthen the rule of law. Ladies and gentlemen, today is 11th September. the day of the death of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah. I think this is the best occasion to first remember his words, which still provide us guidance. So let me remind you his words, which he said on 28th of December 1947. He said, "We are going through fire. The sunshine has yet to come. But I have no doubt that with unity, faith, and discipline, we will compare with any nation of the world. Are you prepared to undergo the fire? You must make up your minds now. We must sink individualism and petty jealousies and make up our minds to serve the people with honesty and faithfulness. We are passing through a period of fear, danger, and menace. We must have faith, unity, and discipline." These are the words which subsequently became our national motto, that is faith, unity, discipline. I have no hesitation in saying that it is this motto which led us in the formation of commercial courts. Now let me explain the faith of my institution, the discipline in the judiciary, and as to whether we are united to bring economic prosperity in the country. It is a matter of common experience that one of the difficult tasks with which a person is confronted in its daily life is decision making. When person avoids this task, the matter comes to the court, which ultimately makes decision, and that too in public. It is also a reality when a decision is delayed in courts, the human activities are disrupted, which adversely affects economic life of a state, and that culminates into abject poverty. Needless to say, then when poverty takes its roots, the prosperity, happiness, and welfare of the people is eclipsed. It is for this reason it is frequently said that judiciary is a vital factor in the rule of law and more broadly in economic development. An effective, efficient, honest, and sound judiciary is essential for economic development. In other words, when a bad judicial system, economic development will be slow or non-existent. We are conscious of this reality, and thus my institution believes that any system which by giving effect to the form and not to the substance defeats substantive rights is defective to that extent. The ideal must always be a system that gives to every person what is his. This has been said by Supreme Court way back in 1963 in Imtiaz Ahmed case. Being guided by this faith and the liberal globalized order, which has brought increased focus on the regulation of international commerce and especially dispute resolution, we have established commercial courts in Punjab. The commercial courts mechanism, with innovative feature aimed at providing expedited justice, is witnessing much traction. Lahore High Court, through development of establishing specialized dispute resolution mechanism in the form of commercial courts for commercial disputes, has exhibited the resolve to help improve the procedure for enforcement of contracts. This initiative, in my opinion, would improve investor confidence and reduces delays by separating the commercial disputes from the civil disputes and prescribing a timeline for the resolution.
This also includes the freedom from trade barriers, incentives, and protection of private property rights and rule of law, etc. So, we have no doubt that contract enforcement and dispute resolution are important components. But the High Court can only facilitate to a certain extent. It cannot create courts, it cannot legislate to enact new laws, it can only do some tweaking in the rules that we are empowered to do so, to ensure that the causes are decided with all deliberate speed. But we felt that the burden for most part lay on the government to set in motion legislation on substantive laws relating to contracts and property, to make the entire system of commerce and trade transparent and free of error and uncertainty. in a meeting that we convened, we emphasized upon the Government of Punjab the need to minimize the need to approach the courts for dispute resolution. You know, the question is, why should a dispute arise at all? Our courts are glutted with frivolity of litigation, mostly involving issues regarding specific performance of contracts, possession, inheritance, almost all relating to immovable property, in which courts are confronted with intricate questions of proof of documents and settling titles among competing claimants. Sadly, the courts end up looking at oral depositions, which are implausible and unconvincing, and to deal with witnesses who do not tell the whole truth. To obviate this, we propose to the government to amend the laws so that the transactions are recorded with an authority set up by the government for that specific purpose, with full responsibility of its certainty and respectability. If an investor is assured of transparency in the sale and purchase of property, this will take care of 70% of the essentials comprising ease of doing business. For almost every business involves renting of property or purchase of property as a first step. If these issues are out of the way, then the courts can grapple with the real issues of contract construction. The courts will also be rid of frivolous and unwanted litigation. Lawrence Tribe is a very famous constitutional expert of the US. He once, in one of his books, he's remarked that judges don't have the monopoly on justice. Indeed, the Constitution presumes that democracy, not litigation, is how we are supposed to resolve many disputes. So this is the essence of what we want to impress upon the Government of Punjab. And to this end, we convinced the Government of Punjab to constitute a working group, or a committee as may be called. It constitutes of members of representing the government and the members representing the High Court. And we have given a task to that committee to come up with proposals to make amendments in the substantive laws. And because, in our opinion, unless the amendments in the substantive laws go hand in hand with the procedure or the procedure laws, no meaningful reforms can be attained. We have also proposed to the Government of Punjab that a permanent provincial law commission be set up, and that law commission should review from time to time, based on the precedents handed down by the courts, by the superior courts, any amendments which are required in the laws, because we will have to progress, and in order to progress, we will have to be in step with the changing times. Otherwise, there can be no progress. A new arbitration law has to be enacted, for which we have proposed, we have a draft. The Lahore High Court has a draft, not the government. I'm talking about the Lahore High Court. We have a draft prepared for them, and we have asked them to, amend the entire arbitration law, which is perhaps one of the most important laws from the investor's point of view.
Now it is time to invite the Honorable Chief Justice Lahore High Court, Lahore, Mr. Justice Qasim Khan, the initiative of establishment of commercial courts and capacity building of commercial court judges in the province was driven by your lordship. You have played leadership role to drive this initiative forward, and now I request you to enlighten us with your thoughts, sir.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Chief Justice Pakistan, Chief Guest of this glorious ceremony, Honorable Mr. Justice Ijazul Hasan, Judge Supreme Court of Pakistan, Honorable Mr. Justice Aminuddin Khan, Judge Supreme Court of Pakistan, my sister and brother judges, respectable judges of district judiciary, executive, the concerned officials of relevant department who cooperated with Judicial Academy for this training workshop, and all other necessary programs, especially the World Bank Group, PIU, and Pakistan Institution of National Development. I am also thankful to my brother judges who dedicated themselves continuously for a couple of weeks so that we were able to point out the relevant laws which we have to taught to our judges for improving their skill. And in this respect, Mr. Justice Sheikh Shahid Waheed, Mr. Justice Shahid Kareem, and Mr. Justice Jawad Hasan took a pain for these matters. Lordship, my brother judges in detail discussed the purpose of this event, why we entered in this era, what was the reasons which compelled us to train our judges. اور وہ کسی نے کہا تھا جو انہوں نے کہا میں نے سمجھا کہ میرے دل میں ہے. All the words said by brother judges, if they never explain it before, the guess I have to explain, but at this stage, I feel it appropriate that I should not repeat all the discussion which was explained, all the reasons which were advanced by the speakers before your Lordship and the members who are present here. In short, I will just took a minute or two. Lordship, it is rightly said that without courts, law remain dead letters, as these are the courts through which law is enforced, expounded and operated. So the courts give life to dead letters of law, which in turn gives life to orderly growth of a nation. Thus, dispensation of justice is direct link with prosperity, and miracles of prosperity are straightway dependent upon enforcement of law. Therefore, I must say that the courts have vital role to safeguard the constitutional rights, shielding the economic performance, exhibiting principle of equity, and securing commercial peace. Lordship, this is our first step. Inshallah, the time will come, we will adopt all legal measures so that we achieve the standards that we become the part of international commercial organization, society and international user committee, which will be a healthy achievement for the nation, for the state and for our judiciary. I am also thankful to the eminent lawyers who joined us in this program for the purpose of training the judges of the district judiciary, and they dedicated themselves completely without receiving back any financial benefit as we pay to the other lecturers during the training courses. I am really thankful. I will not name anyone, that the number of advocates are so high. If I miss anyone, it may not be a healthy sign for the Judicial Academy at this occasion. Although the smiling faces of the advocates are in front of my eyes, and their devotion, their presence in the ceremony of the beginning of this occasion and ceremony for closing of this occasion, we are really thankful to all of them. Lordship, at this occasion, I hope that the legal fraternity of the advocates will cooperate for early decision of these cases which are fixed before these judges and involve the commercial cause. And the learned advocates shall avoid unnecessary adjournments so that these matters may be decided as early as possible. We stand with all organs of the state to lead our citizens for creative and spontaneous social life, for contributing social impulses in common welfare through their investments. According to me, justice is to give right to right person at a right time. So these three rights together makes justice done. In the end, I am grateful to all my colleague brother judges, Research Center, Punjab Judicial Academy, administrative staff, lawyers, planning and development department, and the government functionaries who collectively made this possible. I am also grateful to the Honorable Chief Justice of Pakistan and the judges of the Apex Court who honored us by their presence and make this event as memorable to us. Lordship, किसी ने कहा था ये एक मुश्किल रास्ता था, एक नई मंजिल थी, एक नई बात थी, लेकिन कौमों की ज़िंदगी के लिए बड़ी ज़रूरी है। जो सोए ख्वाब गफलत में انہیں مردہ ہی جانو تم، ہو جنہیں فکر فردا تو وہی جیدار زندہ ہیں۔ بدل سکتی نہیں حالت کبھی گل اپنی ملت کی، اٹھے جب تک نہ ملت کے سبھی افراد کی دستک۔ لارڈشپ، لاہور ہائی کورٹ نے آج یہ دستک دے دی ہے۔ اب مختلف ادارے انکلوڈنگ گورنمنٹ اور پارلیمنٹ کی ذمہ داری ہے کہ اپنی اپنی ذمہ داریاں ادا کریں تاکہ جس ایرا میں دنیا داخل ہو چکی ہے ہم بھی اس میں داخل ہو سکیں۔ اللہ آپ کا، ہمارا، ہمارے اداروں کا حامی ہونا چاہیے۔
It is occasion to request the Most Honorable Chief Justice, Pakistan, Justice Gulzar Ahmed, for his valuable views. Honorable Sir.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My brother Judge Ijazul Hassan, my brother Judge Muhammad Aminuddin Khan, Honorable Mr. Justice Muhammad Kasif Khan, Chief Justice of the Lahore High Court, Honorable Judges of the Lahore High Court, Honorable Judges of the District Judiciary, Mr. Habibullah Amir, Director General, Pakistan Judicial Academy, Mr. Ali Jalal, Program Director, Punjab Planning and Development Board, members of the legal fraternity, Secretary, Chief Secretary, Punjab, IG Police, and other government officials, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Well, what I wanted to say, most of the things have been said by the Honorable Mr. Justice Jawad Hassan, Honorable Mr. Justice Shahid Kareem, then Honorable Mr. Justice Shahid Waheed, and the Honorable Chief Justice himself. I'll try to say things which I want to say before this August gathering. It is a real honor and pleasure to be addressing today's gathering. I would like to thank the Honorable Mr. Justice Muhammad Qasim Khan, the Chief Justice of Lahore High Court, for inviting me to attend today's event. Today is the closing ceremony of the training workshop for District Commercial Court Judges, which commenced from 7th of September 2020. I have read the program schedule of the workshop and have noted that quite distinguished speakers have addressed the workshop, in which they have spoken and have addressed major topics relating to commercial disputes and their resolution by the commercial courts. It is really heartening to see that the Lahore High Court has taken upon itself the agenda of not only creating commercial courts in the province of Punjab, but also providing necessary training to the judges of the commercial court and also equipping them with all required structural facilities and systems. I am also very impressed that this workshop has the collaboration of the World Bank Group and the Punjab Planning and Development Department. This collaboration, in my view, will provide a sustainable resource to the Lahore High Court, where it will provide necessary tools and kits for equipping and training the commercial court judges for effective handling and deciding commercial cases in the court. I may emphasize that Pakistan is a developing country, and its major income from service sector, which is basically business sector. and such income is also dependent on agriculture sector. The major component of doing business is a contract. The contract are of three forms. First is oral contract, second written contract, and the third implied contract. All these types of contracts are governed by law. In Pakistan, it is the Contract Act of 1872. Well, we are still in that century. The parties who enter into the contract are supposed to know their obligations under the contract which they have to meet. Most of the time the contracts are fulfilled without any dispute. However, in some contract disputes do arise between the parties to the contract. Such dispute invariably lead to the court proceedings. The court proceedings in the contract disputes are of utmost importance for the most basic reason that the parties to the contract rely upon the decision of the courts. The contracts invariably involve disputes which have monetary issues as well as that of goods and services. The monetary issues and issues of goods and services thus go into suspense and stagnation until it is decided by the court. Here the very functionality of the court and its structuring become very relevant because contracting parties cannot be kept in suspense for a long. This is where a very dedicated, qualitative and well-structured judicial process is required. This dedicated, qualitative and well-structured judicial process can only be achieved where specialized and dedicated courts are created for dealing with the cases of contract and their disputes. The experience shows that the countries who have created a dedicated, qualitative and well-structured judicial process are among the most dominating economies in the world. The future of Pakistan for acquiring that economic dominance is also related to the similar dedicated, qualitative and well-structured judicial process. Without providing this dedicated, qualitative and well-structured judicial process, Pakistan cannot become a reckoning economy, nor can economic well-being and the betterment of the people be achieved. Thus, for doing business, the judicial process is like an oxygen to the human body, without which there cannot be a life. Ladies and gentlemen, for creation of such judicial process, there has to be necessary legislation, constantly keeping pace with the development taking place in the world. Such legislative process is of fundamental importance, for that it is the legislation through which the courts are created and the judicial process, power and procedures are prescribed. A working group under the supervision of Mr. Justice Shahid Karim, Judge of the Lahore High Court, has already been established to facilitate Punjab Planning and Development Board and Punjab Industries Department, and also to draft legislation of establishment of commercial courts. A draft of Punjab Commercial Court Act 2020 has already been made. I have gone through the same and I have noted that it has been prepared after putting in considerable efforts, and I congratulate the team who has made this draft. The only thing that I found very amusing in this draft was that the commercial courts in Punjab are going to have jurisdiction, admiralty jurisdiction, so also maritime jurisdiction. Well, I need to understand from Shahid Karim how that is going to go about it. For commercial disputes, there has to be structured proceeding of the court, effective case management, court automation, and alternate dispute resolution mechanism. Now the commercial courts have been created in major cities of Punjab, namely Lahore, Multan, Faisalabad, Gujranwala and Rawalpindi, which can regulate their own procedures, and for this they will have to rely upon the procedure provided in the Code of Civil Procedure of 19 1908. Mr. Shahid Karim has just informed, Mr. Justice Shahid Karim has just informed that some major amendments in the rules of the Civil Procedure Code have been made by the Punjab government. The commercial courts, being a dedicated court, will have to decide commercial disputes on fast-track basis and shall ensure that such disputes are settled within the shortest possible time. And in my estimation, a simple contractual dispute could be decided within a period of 6 months, while disputes having wider implications could well be decided within a period of 1 year from the date of their filing. Judges need to be trained to become expert, and they have to be provided with all requisite facilities, amongst which automation, information technology is indispensable. Judges are also required to be provided proper atmosphere like courtrooms, chambers, offices, and also libraries, trained staff with support of research officers and law clerks. Ease of doing business is the hallmark for the economic development of the country, and the only manner in which the ease of doing business can be obtained is by creating a dedicated, qualitative, and well-structured judicial process. It is for achieving this purpose the present training workshop for district commercial court judges has been held. Such training workshop of district commercial court judges should be held periodically so that the judges of the commercial court are made aware of the latest trends in dealing with the commercial cases. Ladies and gentlemen, I may point out that heavy duty is cast upon the government to deliver to the people easy and inexpensive dispensation of justice. I have, on entering the office of the Chief Justice of Pakistan, have taken an initiative of creating of a commercial court in the city of Karachi in the manner of the model court. The project has been assigned to the Federal Judicial Academy in collaboration with the Sindh Judicial Academy for preparing of the action plan and standing operating procedures. And preliminary report in this regard was submitted to me a few days back. I understand the further work on it is being done by the Director General of the Federal Judicial Academy and Model Courts, and I hope to receive formal working paper soon so that the commercial courts are created in the city of Karachi in near future. I wish all success in your endeavors for making Pakistan a reckoning economy for the ease of doing business and for ensuring the best economic growth in the country for providing better living standard to the people. Pakistan, Zindabad.